All right, so we're kicking off day 2, balling on a budget, never too bougie for a McDonald's breakfast. It hit the spot. Okay, y'all, where are we going next?
The American Indian Museum.
Somebody knew. There we go. There we go. So we are off to the American Indian Museum, and we're gonna have a good time. We'll see you when we get there. Any last words before we head there?
Peace out.
No, Malik is wow.
Okay.
Sana.
I'm so excited.
Yay! All right, so we have just left the American Indian Museum, and I would like for y'all to tell the people, how was your experience in the museum? Did you learn anything new? What were your takeaways?
Well, I thought it was really interesting, the fact that we could go inside, see different art pieces and history from the Native community, and especially seeing the perspective of Native, because normally when we learn history, we normally learn the European, more dominant culture perspective of what happened, and being able to see it how the Native perspective was really interesting.
Thank you, Nathan.
For me, it was that when I went in there, I thought like I knew everything about Native Americans. But then once I got in there, I came to find out there was like different, and there was like a lot of stuff that you can learn from a different perspective, like what Nathan was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found where like children that were taken to boarding school and how they're not with their mothers, and it was pretty sad.
Yeah.
It was very new to me.
All right, thank you, Nellie. Who's next? Who else wants to share?
I thought it was messed up that Native Americans were promised all this stuff just for it to get taken away.
Yeah. Thank you, Ren. Anybody else?
I thought it was cool that they had a whole museum dedicated to Indian culture, and I feel like I learned a lot of stuff. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Sana. What's up, Nikayla?
I thought it was really good and messed up at the same time, because I don't see the reason why you would be fighting over land.
Yeah. Thank you, Nikayla. All right, Deontay.
I thought it was interesting because they had of course they had both perspectives coming from the native people that are already in the land, and then the influx of Europeans moving over to the land. And they were talking a lot about the different forms of communication between one party and the other,
Yeah.
and how sometimes there was a language barrier, and because there was a language barrier, they had to find ways to be able to mutually negotiate different pieces of land, weaponry, crops, etc., etc. And they tried their best to be as peaceful for as long as possible, but ultimately history didn't allow that to happen. But it was still interesting to see them try for so long to try and do things diplomatically,
Yeah.
instead of resorting to violence.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. So now we are off to our... What's next?
Capital tour.
There we go. Capital tour. So we finally made it to the U.S. Capitol. We're about to take a tour, so stay tuned.
I'm so happy.
So we have just finished our tour of the Capitol, and so please share a takeaway from that experience.
It was nice to see everything in person.
Yeah, it was definitely
Yeah.
really cool.
Is
So
it?
yeah, in my opinion, I really liked the tour. I liked the statues, how they distributed the rooms accordingly. There was like the statue for each state, and then the fact that the states can change the statue according to how they feel. And it's, in my opinion, it's like a good idea because over time, you know, new political figures show up, new people that change the situation, the politics show up. So I think it's good to change the statues over time, even though I don't know what happens to the old statues. And then overall, it was pretty fascinating, like the building, the architecture overall. A little thing that was in my mind was why the paintings are similar to Greek paintings when we're basically a Christian country. I thought they were more like religious type of paintings, but they look more like a ancient Greek, which is a little strange to me, but overall I think it was pretty interesting, pretty cool.
Thank you for sharing. Who wants to go next?
Can I be honest?
Be honest.
I mean, at first it was interesting, but then I did not see more of everybody. Just saw more of white people's faces.
So you would have liked to see more diversity of what?
Of all kinds of people, like black or other people.
Got it. Got it.
From all over, like every culture. Yes.
I feel you. Who wants to go next?
I didn't like that he kept being like, because when we walked into the big room,
The
with all
rotunda?
the pillars,
The rotunda.
no, it's the crypt.
The crypt.
Oh, the crypt.
Yeah,
Got it.
he was talking about how, yeah, it's a crypt, but no one's actually buried here. But then, like, right before that, he said it was built by enslaved Africans. So it's like, so it might not be like the president's burial site, but it's probably enslaved Africans' burial site. So.
You have some for me?
Do you have some for me?
I do. Okay, so realistically, as somebody who likes history, that was really cool. There are some things that I would have liked to have seen them do differently. However, I understand. Well, when they talk about the history and everything, and they talk about purely the United States, every time I've talked about history prior to that, it's always with other people. We're always talking about like relationships with Native American people, with the slaves that came over here and all the accent and everything. Because if it's ignored in the capital, how do we expect people to continue to talk about it? You know what I'm saying?
Well, thanks y'all. And now we are off to Howard University.
Yay.
See you when we get there.
I'm excited.
All right, so we just left Howard University, and please share your takeaways.
It was very fun getting to experience HBCU in person.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Who's next? Who wants to share?
I feel the same way as Sanaa, and I thought the campus was really pretty.
Thank you. Who's next?
It's very different.
How?
Just say it. Spill the tea.
Be honest. Be real.
So, what I see on social media, it's not exactly what I see in person. I really like that campus, and I'm gonna.
Okay. Thank you. Any other takeaways? Thumbs up? Good? All right. Well, as you can see, we're tired. We're hungry. So we are about to go where?
The bench really full.
Woo! All right, so we just left Ben's Chili Bowl and
Is that
Ben's
right?
next door. Let me know your takeaways of your food real quick.
The bus is here.
The bus is here, the food is here. Yeah, 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 the bus is here.
Nation Building Headquarters, Sankofa Video Books Cafe. We invite the community to come through, get free by any means. So, karaoke, MCing, poetry, comedy, singing original works, whatever's on your heart. We want you to come up here and get free. If you can do that, say, when I say get, you say free. Get
Free,
get
free,
get
free,
get
free.
Now clap your hands, y'all. Channel that love. Clap your hands, y'all. Channel that love. No doubt. So I got another temperature check for y'all. Do a little, see how y'all are. You know what I'm saying? I like to see that. I like to hear that. People together, people unified. Umoja.
From Washington, 22, be 23 pretty soon here. I work on cars. I haven't done something like this in a couple of years, but bear with me.
You got it.
Get it all the way live from my man Deontay, y'all. Make sure he feels the love.